Hi, I'm Theo Evangelatos, and this is a video about our new Rack Extension Trigater. Now, how did this project started? When we released System 9, users wanted a way to use it as a CV gate sequencer, and the idea seemed very appealing to us. However, extending System 9 would be very complicated. So instead, we decided a different approach. We decided to build a new device that would sit on top of System 9, and it would provide that functionality using Reason's modular nature. This device became Trigater. Now, the benefits of going with this design were also that you could use Trigater with any other CV trigger sequencer you might have, for example, ReDrum or Matrix or a third-party sequencer. Plus, you can choose not to have this feature if you don't want to, and you can stick to your usual workflow without the need of learning new stuff. So, what is Trigater? Trigater accepts 16 input triggers, and this corresponds basically to System 9's 16 trigger outputs. But as I said, you can use it with any other sequencer you might like. ReDrum or Matrix, or you can also have a third-party sequencer, and it transforms each of these triggers into a set of note and gate CV signals. And not only that, but it executes these signals for a specified period. For example, you can have trigger 1 sequencing a note of C1 for a velocity of 100 for a 16th of a note. Or you can have trigger 2 sequence an E1 for 1/8 of the note at gate velocity of 50, for example. And so on and so forth. Trigater also has a sequencer, an analog-style step sequencer. It also has MIDI integration. You can execute triggers from MIDI. You can also transpose the pitch or scale the velocity via MIDI. And it also has an extensive function toolkit to easily perform complex tasks. And finally, and I think that's the big issue here, it has 8 different outputs. And this means that you can sequence up to 8 different synthesizers with one sequencer performing one sequence. Of course, there are other features, but in this video we'll just cover the basic ones. Let's see a basic example. Trigater is connected with System 9, thus System 9 will provide the sequence. Each of the connected System 9's triggers will be converted into a note and gate and executed for a given length. The output sequence will be fed into the Europa synth. Let's see how this goes. Up to now, what we've seen produces a very common result, which you can achieve with any sequencer. Here's, however, when things become interesting. I will add another 3 Europas and load them with different sounds. Then I will attach them to the note gate output pairs 2, 3, and 4. Let's assign some of these triggers from our previous example to the said outputs and hear the result. So basically, we're now sequencing 4 different synthesizers with one sequencer. Now let's add the track to the Trigater. I'll add some notes between C2 and C4. I will use these notes to transpose the sequence by enabling the MIDI transpose switch. You can also use the MIDI velocity to scale gate CVs by enabling the appropriate switch. Trigater also has a sequence function. This function works best with MIDI. When enabled, the device keeps executing all enabled triggers starting from the one hit by the incoming trigger CV event. I will draw an event at C0. You can actually use the MIDI keys from C0 to E1 to fire each of the 16 triggers. Let's listen to the result. We can switch sequencer modes, and we can also automate them. Trigater has also a function toolkit which you can access by clicking the button next to the pages at the bottom. Functions can lift the burden of more complex tasks such as transposition, copy-pasting, inserting or deleting, scaling velocities, etc. Also, there are more creative functions such as randomization, shuffling, or arranging notes in intervals. For extensive information and details on these functions, please consult the manual. Trigater is a versatile tool with great possibilities that can change the way you make music. It blends together elements of procedural and sequenced music workflow patterns. It gives you the ability to have several synths to work together to play one sequence from one device, and the tools to manipulate and transform that sequence. This was a brief intro to the Trigater. Check it out at the Propellerhead shop by visiting the link below. Also, don't forget to check the manual and the product page for more examples. Thanks for watching. Bye.